Everyone, welcome to another show on Wednesday afternoon with my boy Pete. We got a lot to talk about. We got to talk about Bosa finally signing and getting his ass in here. Will he play on Sunday? Will he not? If he does play, will he be in a pitch count, or will he play all the snaps available? We're going to get into that in detail right after this. Welcome back. Wrong screen. Welcome back, guys. We're looking forward to talking to you. I still got to get this all.
He's trying to get me off the screen. That's what happened, people.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Who wants to listen to Pete? No, just kidding. This is the Niner Sickness podcast, and my brother Pete from Niner Fanatic Podcast. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be going live 1 week on my channel. Next week, we're going to be going live only on Pete's channel. So make sure you are subscribed to both of our channels. And if you're not subscribed to Pete, go in the description below. I put all his information on there. Go make sure you give him a follow. And next week at 6:30 when we go live, we'll be on Pete's channel. Pete, how you doing, buddy?
Dude, first off, we got to say hi, haters.
Come on.
Hi.
Like, where all the haters at?
All those people that were talking so much stuff. Oh, Bosa's getting traded. The Niners are going to mess this up. All the naysayers. Like, I like it's going to be crickets for the next couple of days until we get this first game of the season going, and I couldn't be happier about it. Like, how you feeling today, BETO?
I'm feeling great, man. Listen, I know a lot of Rams fans are pissed because we're playing the Niners week 2 without Bosa. We have a chance. We don't have to play nobody in the front line, and the Rams are still going to lose. But we're not talking about the Rams. We're talking about the Steelers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're looking forward to seeing Nick Bosa next to Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and now Drake Jackson. Now we got our D-line intact. Now we're going to go into Pittsburgh and kick some Steelers' ass, baby.
Absolutely. Like, I mean, it's just we've been waiting. We still haven't seen them all at the same place at the same time. So we're all going to be enjoying it together as a community all at once. Like, it'll be the first time even the coaching staff is probably going to be able to see them all together in the same place at the same time. It's going to be a really good game. Like, I know that I want to come on here and say that, the 49ers are going to run away, but I think this is going to be a battle, and it's going to be week 1. It's going to be a battle all the way through.
Yeah, it sure is. Give me a second, bro. I'm having a little bit of difficulties. Dang, what is going on? Give me a second, guys. Having this thing on 2 screens. Oh, okay, shit, 195? No, I want 25. Come on. Sorry, guys. There we go. Yeah, man, I'm fired up. I just want to acknowledge everybody coming in. If I can get this damn thing to work. There we go. I just want to acknowledge Daniel Barry in the house. How you doing? We got
on, Daniel.
Amen Joe, this is my little brother, popping in and saying hello. What's up, little brother? Good to see you, Joe. We got Don Dotson in the house. What's up, Don?
Don.
Welcome to the channel.
Appreciate you coming through.
We got Brandon here. I'm doing a show with Brandon at 7:45 tonight as well, here on my channel and on his channel. So make sure after we're done here at 7:30, at 7:45 to hit us up for a little bit more conversation. That with Brandon, it's going to be myself, I believe Dion, Christian, and Brandon some other guests that Brandon might have brought on.
Mm.
So welcome, Brandon. Jimmy Perez is in the house. What's up, Jimmy?
Appreciate you, Jimmy.
We got Joe Stevens in the house. What's up, Joe Stevens?
Oh, what's going on, Joe?
How you doing? We got Maud Lopez in the house. What's up, Maud? Welcome, sis. Always a pleasure to see you. We got
Absolutely.
Crazy Guy in the house. What's up, Crazy Guy?
He was on my last show. What's going on, Crazy?
Was he?
Oh yeah, he came. He stepped in.
That's awesome. We got Steve-O. What's up, Steve-O? Welcome. And we got Jess, East Coast Red and Gold podcast. We also have a podcast on Fridays at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. Make sure to tune into that. Welcome. Let me make sure I recognize everybody. Now we have a super chat that I want to bring up. Thank you for the super chat, Joe Stevens, the $10 super chat. Go Hawks. You know what?
Blah.
Go Hawks and the Niners are definitely going to be a rivalry. Now kind of, I believe, matched up where both teams are be able to, kind of beat each other up. I know for a while they keep calling us a rivalry, but every time we play the Seahawks, we get our ass kicked. So I don't understand how it was a rivalry. Rivalries, you get one, we get one. You get one, we get one. It's like they call the Lakers and the Sonics. I call them Sonics, but the Celtics rivalry back in the 60s, they were kicking the Lakers' ass left and right. So it wasn't really a rivalry into the 80s. 84 and 87, or 85 and 87, we won titles against those fools. But anyway, it's not about basketball. Although we did get a big man yesterday. You hear about the big man? You're a Laker fan, right?
Yeah. You
hear about the big man we got? We got Wood, Christian Wood. That's exciting.
Oh. Yeah.
But thank you for the super chat. So, Pete.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you, what was the first reaction out of you, brother, when you heard from wherever you heard it from that Bosa had signed the contract?
Man, just relief. Relief that we don't have to talk about it anymore.
Really, huh?
The next time I hear about another contract situation with the 49ers will be, hopefully, I just never have to deal with that anymore. Like, it was a long, drawn-out situation. We had to deal with the same thing last year with Debo. And this one went a little bit longer, but I mean, it was excruciating. I'm surprised that Kyle got up there and said, they asked him, would he be on a pitch count? And Kyle said, well, I mean, or like, how many snaps is he going to play? And he said, well, I mean, how many snaps are in the game?
Yep. I like that.
Like, I was shocked that he said that. Cause I mean, for him not being in on the practice field with the guys, like, I mean, I know Bosa is Bosa, but at the same time, you usually want to ramp guys up. But man, I'm just stoked that he's back. I'm just stoked that we have him locked up until 2029, and I'm glad he got paid. The man is well deserved, Defensive Player of the Year. I'm glad that he got paid. I'm glad that the 49ers figured out a way to fit him in, and they freed up more cap space. I don't know if you saw the Kittle and Trent Williams deal today. So
no, I did not. Please share on that.
Oh, they converted. They freed up $23 million in cap space today with restructuring Kittle and Trent Williams.
Really?
So nobody knows what that's about. Like, but
I
Brad,
wonder.
shout out to Brad. Like he said, go get Brian Burns right now.
Well, let's be honest. Any players right now are not going to be available to nobody. But if the Panthers, they're trying to clear money up because let's say, for example, the Panthers have a bad season and they're like below 500. They're not going anywhere. Those are the times where they might get rid of a Burns contract or get rid of certain players. So that's when you want to keep up. But you want to make sure you have enough money for that, or for if we get injuries, we bring somebody in. we knew that today is the 6th of September. We're a few games away from the actual start of the season for the Niners in Pittsburgh. The Niners were not able to sign Bosa. We were going up and down. We all wondered, what is the holdup? Is he asking for too much money?
Mm-hmm.
Is this, are the Niners cheap, or is Bosa greedy? We heard it all, right? I think,
Yeah.
Pete, and I want to get your thoughts on this, but I think the holdup was not on the 5-year, 170 million. It wasn't on the 34 million a year. I think the holdup was, or the standoff, or people like to call it chicken, was in the guarantee money. I think that where Parag wanted to give less guaranteed, Bosa's team wanted more. And I think that, and again, I'm speculating because I wasn't on a fly on the wall. I wasn't there. I'm not part of the agent or the Niners crew. But I think that Bosa maybe wanted 125 guaranteed, and maybe he came down to 122. And, I don't believe that what we paid Bosa today was on the table a week ago. Because if the Niners would have just given to this, I really believe that they would have signed him a week ago, and he would have been in practice already. I think he came down to that guarantee, and I think Bosa's team wanted 125, and they said, and then maybe the Niners wanted to give 120, and the Niners said, okay, we'll give you 122.5. Let's call it. And I think Bosa's team agreed, and here we are. What are your thoughts on that scenario? If you agree or disagree, and what's your thoughts on it as well?
I mean, I think that that there had to be give and take on both sides. I think that the Bosas are known for being tough negotiators as far as contracts go. They're both beasts, Joey and Nick. They're both beasts, and they set themselves up to get paid handsomely. And it didn't matter what happened, somebody was going to pay Nick Bosa. So the 49ers know that. And they knew that they were just trying to keep the damage down to a minimum. And I feel like they were trying to give themselves future flexibility because this roster is loaded, and they're going to have to re-sign some guys. Ayuk, his contract is coming. So are they able to sign him? And they were going to have to structure all of these deals in a way that was going to give them that flexibility. So it didn't surprise me that it was so contested. I was just surprised that it went as long as it did. I thought that eventually they would just, he would want to get into camp with his guys at a certain point. I thought they were going to sign him at the same time they always did. But that goes to show how close this actually probably was. And I do agree with you that there was probably concessions on both sides.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Because you look at the 170, 5 years, that kind of looks like kind of the ball game. I know that Aaron Donald pretty much screwed it up for all the defensive line by getting a 31 point whatever he was getting.
Yeah.
And knowing Nick Bosa and company, he knew that Micah Purse is coming right behind him in a year or two, and he kind of want to make sure he set the standard not only for himself, but for future defensive ends coming through. And I'm pretty sure that Murad Parag is a tough negotiator. He negotiated tough. And I'm pretty sure that Bosa's agent and team were tough negotiators. They were going back and forth. And I really think that it was the guarantees that they were going back and forth with because the 34 seems about right. I would rather pay him 32, 33, but 34, all the money that Jed York makes, let's get real. Pay the man. Yeah. The man, yeah. I know we kind of say man, was he greedy? Doesn't he care about what the Niners? Listen, he is one play away. Any player is one play away from ruining the career. When you get the opportunity to get the bag, yes, take opportunity and get it. Because what happens if he gets hurt? It sucks for us as fans. It sucks for the Niners as a team. But it secures Bosa and his family going forward. So, as a fan, I think it's too much money. But if I was a player trying to support my family, it's not enough. So, and you think about, well, that's a lot of money, but the Niners make a lot of money too. Don't underestimate how much money and revenue the Niners make. And I just want to say this: if you're worried about Brennan Ayuk not being here because of this contract, if Brandon Ayuk balls out this year and plays his caliber of play, the Niners will figure something out. There's no guarantee that he won't get a contract because we signed Bosa. If somebody's been telling you, tell them to shut up. Niners sickness, tell you tell them to shut up. They don't know what they're talking about. If the Niners want him here, they'll keep him. It won't be because of the finances. What's your thought on that, Pete? About Ayuk maybe not getting signed? I mean, Ayuk.
I mean, this is the thing. I definitely think that the 49ers are going to have to make a decision because right after Ayuk is going, eventually they're going to have to pay a quarterback, right? Eventually they're gonna have to pay a quarterback. Whether it's Purdy, it doesn't matter who it is, they're going to have to pay somebody. And that's going to be with now they're giving Bosa quarterback money. So most teams, once they're paying a quarterback, it's really hard for them to keep improving their team and to keep adding pieces. So they're at a point now to where with Bosa there, and they're eventually going to have to pay Ayuk. They're eventually going to have to pay another quarterback. They're at a place where they're going to have to. I mean, they're known for hitting those lower round picks. They're going to have to hit on all those now in order to get better on this team because it is what it is. And Ayuk, I tend to think that Ayuk is going to be here. I don't know how that's going to look for a guy like Kittle. I don't know how that's going to look for even a guy like Debo in the future. But I tend to think that Ayuk is going to be here. I think Ayuk is the one guy at the wide receiver position on this team that can juke, that can take anybody one-on-one. And he's going to route. He's the best route running receiver that they have. So I think that, and he stays healthy out of all their guys. I think he stays the healthiest. So
yeah, absolutely. Real quick, I just want to say thank you to Steve for the $2 chat. I appreciate that.
Appreciate you, Steve-O.
Yeah, appreciate you, man, supporting the channel, my friend. He says 40 more mil guaranteed, but no sacks last month. I don't know about you, bro. I don't care about the month of August. It's what can you do in the month of September, October, especially in December and January, that I'm more worried about. So, but thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. Holy crap. Maverick wrote me a freaking paragraph here. Hey, Mod, sup, Beto? Over here getting ready for the NFL kickoff, now coming on NBC in a few minutes. Bosa's agent, complete scumbag, waiting last minute, demanding an outrageous amount. Bosa should have been like, listen, I don't need to restructure my contract. I need to do what's best for my organization to save money for other players. I'm going to let you answer that, Pete. And then I'll give my point.
So, I mean, look. The Bosa's agent's job is to get him the most money. That's his job. The team's job is they have to make a decision on whether they can fit that and structure it in a way that they can keep the team in a really good spot. I don't think either side is wrong. I just think that it's all circumstance. So you have to the team has to make that decision. Is he worth paying that much for that long, or is he not? And we just get what we can get for him, and then everybody wants what they want.
Yeah,
we want to see Bosa on the team. we're fans. We want to see Bosa on the team, so we want him to take less because that'll keep all the band together. But we're not him. We're not him. We're not his bank accountant. And you, if it was up to you, and somebody was saying, I can get you 170 mil if you just let me do my thing, what would you do? I'm letting him do his thing. I'm letting my guy do his thing and get me the most amount of money. These guys put their bodies on the line. Like this is their one chance at a humongous deal. So yeah, that's how I kind of feel about it. Like I don't blame either side. I just think that it's negotiation. Anybody that's been in business, any kind of business negotiation, knows that this is the way it goes.
Absolutely. And the reality is this, guys. Listen. The Niners are looking out for the Niners, and Nick Bosa is looking out for Nick Bosa. All right. Nick Bosa wants to play here. Nick Bosa loves his teammates. We as fans, we get a little emotional about things. We're like, man, he should have took a discount to play for the Niners. Doesn't he know that this is where it's at, Bob? So we're thinking a mentality of a fan. As a player, I guarantee you, none of those players on the Niners roster was pissed off at Bosa holding out because they understand the realism of getting hurt and not making it. You listen, Bosa gets hurt. He is not as productive anymore to the Niners. Do you think the Niners care that Bosa is a big name? They'll dispatch of him. They'll trade him. They'll get rid of him. They'll move on. It's a business. Bosa needs to get his money. That now he can play free. He can put his body on the line. He can go after the quarterback, get us a Super Bowl, and so on, knowing that God forbid, the worst comes into his life and he gets hurt where he can't play no more. Although he was given his best, he's able to live off what he has. So
122 million.
Yeah. So Bosa got his money, the Niners got his player, and we as fans, it's done. I understand that we wanted Bosa to get less. That's too much guaranteed. The last time I checked, Pete, how much money came out of your bank account?
Absolutely nothing. Not a penny.
Neither did mine. So let's start acting like we own the team. We love our team. And trust me, Jed York is not going to ride that amount if it was going to put him under. Multi-millionaire people are greedy. That's why they're in business. They don't like to give money away. But when you got a product like Nick Bosa, he knew he had the edge. He knew he had the upper hand. He played it well. His team played it well. Mm-hmm. Kudos to his agent. He played it well. He got the Niners to kind of give in, and he got his contract. Now Bosa's going to do what Bosa does best. He's going to suit up, go after the quarterback, and make quarterback's life miserable. I'm telling you, in Pittsburgh, during the game, if Bosa's terrorizing Pickett, ain't no damn Niner faithful going to be like, wow, he's killing it. But man, 122, that's a lot. You ain't going to give a shit about the 122. All you're going to know is like, let's go, Bosa, let's go. Especially if he's bringing havoc to the quarterback. We're going to forget about this in 2 or 3 games if he's continued to be productive. It was something we were talking about. It didn't come out of your mouth. The Niners are not broke. Okay? Bosa's happy. Now go out and do your job. And like Kyle said, they asked him if he's going to play, if he's going to get a number of raise. Like, if Bosa came in with a beer belly, we have a problem. But I know his DNA. This guy comes in with 0 fat on his body. Not 1%, not 2%. 0 fat on his body each and every year. Mm-hmm. This man doesn't get out of shape and has to get back into shape. This man stays in shape all year long. And he puts the effort. And a lot of people say, wow, he got too much money. People don't realize, Pete, how hard it is to maintain your body where it's at, how hard it is to work out, to do everything that he did from the day he got drafted to this paycheck. He earned it. And am I mad? No. He signed, delivered. You know what? The only time I would have been mad if I was hearing Niners trade Bosa to the New York Jets. I don't give a shit if they would have given us 3 number ones. I would have been pissed.
Yeah.
But that didn't happen. He's a Niner for the next 5 years. Let's focus on that.
Yeah, you should be. This is the thing. Be mad in a couple of years when they can't afford to get somebody. But right now, we should just be jumping for joy that this man is a 49er and he's a 49er for the foreseeable future. This is the defensive player of the year. This guy is, I think he is the best defensive lineman in the league. Personally.
By far.
He does it all well. He plays the run. He plays he obviously is a great pass rusher, but he is a difference maker. And this defense is going to it would look completely different without him. So we're just happy that he's here. We should all count our blessings that we have one of the deepest. Now we go from wondering if we're going to have enough pass rush to having one of the deepest defensive lines in the league. There is no question about it. I know some people have questions about the opposite side of Bosa, but I don't have any real questions about it. I think that they're going to get the same production. They're not going to get any less production than they got last year.
Absolutely.
From that side. So I think that this team is going to be this defense. The whole secondary should be breathing a sigh of relief right now, because now instead of having to guard somebody for 3 or 4 seconds,
come on, Pete.
Now it's only going to be maybe 2. You got a couple of seconds to get that ball out. So all the people talk about the lack of speed that the 49ers have at corner and at safety. Well, they don't have to. They just have to keep everything in front of them now. Because you've got to get the ball out now. So yeah, I'm supremely excited about this signing. I'm supremely excited that we won't have to talk about Bosa's contract situation for the next 5 years.
That's right, brother. And people don't realize, you mentioned the secondary, and you're absolutely correct. Listen, offensive coordinators now have to consider Bosa and Hargrave as the 2 beasts in the front of that line. That's going to leave Eric Armstead and Jackson a lot on one-on-ones. If Bosa did not play and he was holding out for week 1, week 2, week 3, understand this. As good as help that Farrell could bring in and Hyder, they are nowhere near. On their best day, they don't even touch Bosa on his bad day. And understand this. If Bosa was not in the lineup, Hargrave would be getting double team and Armstead more double teams. Now you got the young 1 year starting in Jackson, and then you got a mixture of Farrell and Hyder on the one-on-ones. I don't like that matchup. Now you got Bosa. You got Bosa taking on 2. Hargrave takes on 2. And then I'd rather have Jackson and Eric Armstead on the one-on-ones, because even though Bosa gets taken 2 and Hargrave, they're going to get theirs. People don't realize how important it is to have an offensive line as we have now. It also helps out the secondary, right, Pete? If the quarterback has to get the ball out right away, that means the D-backs have to cover. Okay, I don't care how good you are as a defender. You can be the best. You can be Ramsey on a Pro Bowl level. If you give the quarterback enough time, Ramsey's going to get burned. He's going to get burned. But if you can have a sorry-ass corner, but you don't give the quarterback no time at all, that corner looks like an old pro. And it's the pressure. It's not necessarily the sacks. It's the pressure that you put on a quarterback. You got to disrupt his play. You got to make sure he doesn't make his reads. You got to have him hearing your footsteps in his head. He's going to be anticipating, oh, shit, okay, run. I got to get it. I got to get it out. Here comes Bosa. Here comes Hargrave. Here comes. And if you remember the 2019 Aaron Rodgers, one of the greatest quarterbacks to play, and he was under duress in those games, and he was being frustrated, and he was making mistakes out of that frustration. Before I bring any comments, somebody wrote something that made a point, and I haven't had a chance to talk to you, Pete. I know you have a busy schedule. I don't know if you're going to be up for it or not. We're going to start late if we do it. But Facebook, unfortunately, if you're on Facebook, it doesn't show your name unless you put it at the end of the comments, or if you make your way over to YouTube, it will identify who you are. He says, send you fellas love here as well. Gotta ask if Last Man Standing has Peter again.
Yes.
I do want to do it. I do want to start it. I've been busy. Are you game for another year of Last Man Standing, Pete?
Yeah, I'm down. I am down.
Okay, so
We
you
still
heard that?
we still gonna do it on Wednesdays?
Well, we'll talk about that after we get off the show.
Okay.
But probably we'll make it work. It's just a matter of whether you're going to do it or not. But now you say yes, we'll make it work. So there you go. We got Pete back for another year, and I think this year we're going to make it a little bit fun. I think we're going to get like a trophy or something that we can kind of give out to the winner just for the bragging rights. So every year when they come on, they're the defending champions, and they can show that trophy to all the new people that come on or the same cast. We'll figure it out. But me and Pete, we'll talk about it, and we'll give you guys a great show. We may start this week or the following week, but those that will be part of it, they will give me their picks. So those picks will still be up to date. Don't worry. I just wanted to bring that up because he did bring that up, and I totally forgot about that. Don said, I left for this woman right here. I love her. I really do. Great mother, great wife to her husband, great person. I love the respect that she has for this show and podcast. She has said, sorry, I left for a few minutes. I had to get my heating pad. I think I pulled something. Sorry about pulling something. I know how that is. Prayers your way, and hope you feel better soon. I always tell her, you don't got to tell me exactly everything. I wouldn't even, not that I'm trying to be mean, but I wouldn't even known you were gone and came back. But the fact that she still tells me, God bless your heart, Don. You are a beautiful person. I'm kind of jealous of your husband. Holy crap. There goes Beto. He's covered. Mike Perez reads, the average fan doesn't understand that a guy like Bosa, you don't trade. You don't give away a generational player. A guy who only comes along once in a generation. Bosa has been bred for this. It's in his DNA. A guy like Bosa, you pay. People are worried about losing guys next year. Guys that we can replace. I like what didn't mean to make it small. Hold on. There you go. Everyone's saying we are going to lose BA. Okay. And we barely had 1K yard receiving season. Kyle Shanahan can go out and find talent and scheme for that player and put together plays that will produce. He's done it over and over. So in a nutshell, he's saying that unlike Bosa, players are replaceable. You can get better. You can get some similar production or maybe attack less. But someone like a general player like Bosa, you want to keep. The Patrick Mahomes, you want to keep. The Joe Burrow, you want to keep. The Aaron Donalds, the TJ Watts. Those are key players you want to keep. So that's a great point, Mr. Absolutely. Perez. Appreciate it. And did he? Wow, this was a big one. Okay, now there I am. Thank you for that, though. So, Pete, going in with Bosa, what did you have the Niners prior to Bosa going to Pittsburgh? Do you had us winning? And what was your score prediction prior, before we knew about Bosa? Yeah.
I thought that it was going to be tough because I think it was going to be tough because that of the weapons that the Pittsburgh has. Look, like they got Pickens, they got Deontay Johnson, they got Freiermuth, and they got Najee Harris. And not that our defense wouldn't stop the run. I have full faith that the 49ers are going to be able to stop the run. But I think that if they give Pickett time to throw, Pickens' whole thing is to catch the ball, is to just throw the ball up and catch it and make plays. I just think that the more time that you give guys to take advantage of your secondary, they will. And like we just talked about earlier, I don't think that our secondary is that fast. I think that guys people can get behind them if given time to sit back there and wait. So yeah, I mean, I think it would have been a lot closer than I think it is than I think it is now. Just because I think that it's going to be really hard for Kenny Pickett to just stand there, because I think that the underrated thought process on this game is the Steelers offensive line. The Steelers offensive line has been bad for years, and they supposedly invested in it this year. We don't know. We haven't seen it. We haven't seen it. Yes, this will be the first real game that we've seen their new invested in offensive line. So we don't know what that is, but if it's anywhere near what it was last year, it's going to be a problem for them. The 49ers offensive line hasn't been bad, but their offensive line absolutely has been. So that I think that is the tipping point in this game. And yeah, so I think it would have been close before. I think the 49ers are going to win. They're gonna win this next game, and I think that it's going to be a little bit. I don't think it's going to be as close as people think.
Absolutely. Listen, I'm glad that Bosa signed and will be playing. Absolutely, but my concern wasn't Bosa as much as it is Kittle. This is why. The Steelers' linebacking core are pathetic. They're no good.
Yeah, they're not.
Kittle in the middle is going to be extremely advantage for us. Now, who is it? Ross Dwally. Willis looked like he's going to be good, but he's still a rookie. Warner can block, but can't catch a cold in amongst a bunch of sick people in the hospital. So I am confident if Kittle's playing. Now, I don't know. I've been busy today doing some other things. Do you know if he practiced today by any chance? Did you hear anything about that?
They said he's limited. But he's probably going to play.
Okay, and that's good news.
Then there was another one. Ray McLeod got cleared to practice.
Yeah, I heard he was limited, but he's cleared.
So,
okay, and
he's probably going to play. They said he's probably going to play week 1. So having Bosa and having Kittle are extremely beneficial to this team. I was more concerned about Kittle, to be honest with you, than I was Bosa. I think with Hargrave, Eric Armstead, and Jackson, and the rotation of Farrell and Hyder would have been enough. Now, they're not Bosa, like I said, so I'm now more fired up for Bosa to be in there. And people think he's going to be in the pitch count. This guy's going to get the reps that he normally would have got if he's been in here since day one. This guy keeps his body in shape, zero fat. He understands the defensive line. He understands the reps that they do in practice. He's been doing it all. He'll be ready to rock and roll, and it's going to be fun to see him on the field attacking Pickett. Imagine Pickett looking at Bosa, looking at Hargrave, Armstead, and Jackson. All they really got is T.J. Watt. And I forgot the other defensive player. He's they
okay
got
too.
Highsmith.
Highsmith, yeah.
Yeah, he got like 14 sacks or something like
Did
that
he?
last year.
Oh, wow. I underrated him.
Yeah.
Now, okay, don't do that.
He's pretty nice.
I went from here to... But anyway, you know what? What I'm looking for in that game, guess who the first person I'm going to be looking at in offense on that game? Can you guess who I'm going to be paying attention to, Pete? On the offensive side? On our team.
On our team. On the offensive side?
Yes.
Well, you said Kittle, but I'm going to say CMC.
No. Well, The guy that I'm going to be keeping an eye on is Kovit McKivitz
Oh well, yeah.
against TJ Watt. If he can hold his own, now I know he's going to get beat. I don't expect him to be but if he can hold his own, I'm going to be fired up. I know what Kittle can do down the middle. I know what CMC, but at the end of the day, if Brock doesn't have a time to get rid of the ball either, it's going to be tough. Now, I love that Brock Purdy gets the ball quickly and he gets it to where it needs to go. I'm excited for this team. I honestly, my anticipation this year is greater than it was last year going, and I'm not here to debate or fight about Trey. He's no longer here. I don't like Trey no more because he's a Dallas
Cowboy now. He's the enemy.
Yeah, sorry. I'm not talking, and when I say this, I'm not talking about the human being, all right? Get out of your feelings. I'm talking about the player. I don't like him as a player. How can I dislike him as a human being? I don't know him. But my point is, he's gone. I am more confident with Brock Purdy. Does Brock Purdy have the height? Does he have the arm? No. But what Brock Purdy brings, he brings a dog mentality to the fight. This kid can read defenses, can get the ball out quickly, doesn't make a lot of mental mistakes. Did you see any, and I know they're preseason games, did you see any interceptions, the 2 preseason that he started? Because according to people, he was throwing a whole lot of interceptions and practice. So I said all that to say this, Pete. Based on the way he played in preseason and not putting the ball in harm's way and the way he put the ball in harm's way in practice, you know what that tells me, Pete? This kid was trying a lot of things to figure things out. He was trying to figure things out. He was trying to figure the spacing, the pocket, how close he can get it, how short is that window that he can try to put the ball in. He was working on some techniques. He didn't care about interceptions. Mm-hmm. So all these interceptions and practice doesn't mean nothing. Who was it? Ivan, the basketball player. That says about don't talk about no practice.
Oh yeah, Allen Iverson.
Yeah, and it's true.
Yeah,
it's about the game. Some dogs, bro, they don't practice good, but the light turns on Sunday and they play their best. I don't think that it was an issue with interception. I think he was just trying things out based on what I saw, the Chargers and the Denver Broncos. Your thoughts on that, Pete?
Oh, I mean, come on. Like I've been saying that all off season is that we're talking about practice. Like where are you supposed to make mistakes?
Yeah.
Like because nobody's perfect
brother.
all the time. And like where are you supposed to make the mistakes? How do you know if you can fit this ball in? Like you've got to test your own arm strength. You've got to know your limits so that when the game starts, you don't want to be trying out stuff in the game.
Come on.
Like I mean, I think that sometimes we as fans we think that these guys are supposed to be infallible at all times. And I mean, I wish some people would look at some of those old time quarterback stats and see how many interceptions they were throwing for every single season. Like, and they're considered all time greats.
Yeah.
Like, but this is the thing. It's practice. Like, let these guys get used to get the timing down with their receivers. That let them make their mistakes in practice so that they don't make them in the game. Like, I mean, that's how I feel about it. Like, it's really kind of, I think that we went way off the deep end. I think a lot of people went way off the deep end tracking quarterback stats in practice. Like, I thought that was just ridiculous. Because I mean,
absolutely, bro.
We're tracking completion percentages in practice. Like, I mean, just think about that for 2 seconds. Like, it's to the point to where we're sitting there waiting for the new video to come out they can tell us what that Brock went 13 of 15 and he threw 2 near interceptions. Okay, well, I mean, I just don't know when he's supposed to try and fit balls in. Pause. But you know, that's maybe that's just me.
Yeah, no, I hear you, bro. I mean, this offseason, we were fighting on Twitter war over backups.
Yeah.
Not even the starter. They were like, Trey, Sam Donald, Trey, back and forth. And like, who gives a rat's ass? Neither one is going to start.
Yeah.
And now
And
you
then
can you
hey,
can dismiss me
Beto,
with the. Oh, go ahead.
real quick. Did you see them talking about like there was a lot, and I'm not going to say names because it's just silly. Like,
Got you.
but did you see people talking about the saying that posting videos of McCarthy saying a nice thing about Trey in practice, and they said that was the most encouraging thing that Trey had ever heard of, that like heard from anybody. That's how you're supposed to support Trey Lance. Like Shanny never said anything good about Trey. Like
That is so
it's
stupid, bro.
just I mean, it's just silly. Like, I mean, there's no reason to lie. Like, the coach wanted Trey to succeed. He would not have given up what he did if he didn't want to make it work with Trey. Like, it just didn't work out. Move on.
Have
Move
you
on.
ever bought stock,
Oh,
Pete? Have you ever bought stock of anything?
yes.
Do you buy it with the intentions to fail? For it to
No.
fail?
I'm not trying to give my money away.
Okay. So you buy it with the intentions of making money and hopefully it turns out good, but sometimes it doesn't. And you got to move on. There's no way in the world that Kyle Shanahan drafted Trey Lance and did not like him. And
Yeah.
another thing, the whole, and we're not going to get too much into this, but the whole Kyle don't like black quarterbacks is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I'm sorry if I'm stepping on some people's toes, but it's the stupidest thing I ever heard. Kyle drafted this man. Kyle, I've never seen Kyle or Mike, is that anyone ever give me a glimpse of races of anything. So it's absurd. Listen, if you don't like Kyle, if you don't like Brock and you love Trey, that's fine. That's your prerogative. But when you come up with nonsense stating that he don't like because he's black, he got rid of him, or the white. Brock Purdy could be Filipino, Mexican, anything. Yeah. And if he played the way he played, it would have been the same scenario, regardless of what the nationality. It had to do with what Brock did on the field, not the skin of his color, or the color of his skin, excuse me. So this whole narrative of being black, that's what he's got. Or Kyle didn't love him, and he really loved this, or he brought Sam Darnold because he loved Sam Darnold. He brought in, Kyle understands we went through a lot of quarterbacks last year. Now, he's hoping that doesn't happen again, but if it does, he wants to have a good quarterback room. And there, it had nothing to do that he didn't like Trey or he loved Sam Darnold more. It had to do with securing a good quarterback room for the worst case scenario. The best case scenario, Sam Darnold and Brandon Allen never see the field unless it's cleanup duty. Absolutely. Other than that, Brock Purdy, and the whole thing that Kyle gets quarterbacks hurt, you can dismiss me with that. The whole thing that Kyle hasn't had a healthy quarterback but 1 year, you can also dismiss me with that. It's football. People get hurt. It's violent sport.
Okay.
Oh,
I will say.
I hear rebuttal.
I will say, look, like, I'm not saying that Kyle gets guys hurt.
No, just kidding.
What I say is that Kyle runs an offense that can get guys hurt if not run correctly. Because I think that it's all timing based. He puts guys in harm's way because if they don't get the ball out on time, they're going to get smacked. That's just plain, because he sends guys in motion and has guys blocking guys that he should not be having guys block guys. And they're really not meant to block, to fully block those guys. They're just meant to be in the way. Just in the way enough time for that quarterback to get the ball out. But if that quarterback doesn't get the ball out on time, they're probably going to get smacked up, which turns into injuries. So I don't think that Kyle wants to. Well, obviously, I don't think that he gets guys hurt, but I think that offense is very risk adverse, and it is just really risky. and like it's when it works, it looks really pretty, and when it doesn't work, it can get ugly. So
It sure can. I
that's
I,
all.
I don't know. Real quick, let me say hi to my girl, uh, Cassie. How you doing? She's a Cowboys fan. Can't not every pretty looking girl can be a Niner fan, so we got to give the Cowboy fans some hope too. She's
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you for supporting the channel. Good luck with your team, unless they're playing us as well. I wanted to mention something about what Melissa said, and I want to get because I did not see this or heard this, so I can't really defend it because I didn't hear other one way or the other. She's stating here that Juice and Dwally cheered when Trey got hurt, amongst the other things, saying how now it was real Niners football. I didn't hear anything like that. I just can't imagine Juice and Dwally doing that. These guys are teammates. They're teammates. They're if you ever been part of of something, you're a family, and I know families can be against each other, but I don't know if you heard this or not. Unless Melissa, you heard it from the mouth of Juice and Dwally. I can't believe that it's just speculation. Somebody just can you see Juice and Dwally
No.
say negative thing about Trey getting hurt?
Yeah. No. What happened was when Trey got hurt, and then Jimmy
Uh-huh.
came in, and then they ended up winning the game. They asked Juice like how he felt about the game, and he said, "Well, we got back to 49er football." And a lot of people took that as, well, we weren't playing
So
49er
they took
football.
their narrative off of that statement.
Yeah. I think that's all it was. He didn't say anything specific about, they just looked happy that Jimmy was in there and that they won the game, and and that Jimmy did what Jimmy does. And then they won. I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, people can just kind of take it the way that they want. But I think at the moment, I think that it might have. I think people were expecting all the players to be like, I just really am sad about what happened to Trey, and they didn't mention that. They didn't mention Trey. They were just happy about winning the game, and they seemed to be happy that Jimmy was in there and Jimmy did Jimmy things.
So not mentioning Trey is talking trash about him. I don't get that.
I mean, I don't necessarily agree with it either. But yeah,
There's nothing in that statement you just said that refers to me that he didn't like Trey. You
no,
said
they
they're
never
very
said anything.
emotional. Their best quarterback went down. Jimmy came in and they won the game. And they're thinking about, you got to think about this. They're thinking about the moment. They're thinking about, they're worried about Trey, but they're celebrating the win. I don't know Juice personally, but based on following him on Instagram, he's a positive dude. I just can't see him or any of the teammates wishing ill on anyone, if anything, publicly like that. And it's like he didn't even do it. If everything was said the way you said it, Pete, there's no people took their own negative narrative in this. People that don't like whatever. This is all I can say to that, and I don't mean to disrespect no one. Get out of your feelings. Get out of your feelings, man. It's football. Get out of your feelings. He just said we got back to 49er football, which they did. What's the Niner? What's that statement say to me? What's 49er football? Winning, isn't it? To me, when I hear 49er football, it's winning, excellence. What did they do that day? They won. Now, Kyle would have said, I am glad that Jimmy came back because I don't know if we would have won it with Trey. Then I can't defend him.
That would have been something.
I couldn't defend him. But all he said is we got back to 49er football and everybody went out with their own narrative. Well, they got happy. He was happy that Trey got her. How? I'm like, all I know is get out.
Yeah.
Get out of your feelings, man.
This is the thing. There's a lot of people, right? If you get 10 people in a room and give them a subject to talk about, it would be really hard to get all 10 people to agree. It would really be hard, right? So think about how big the Niner fan base is. How many Niner fans are on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube? Like, you can't get 10 people to agree, let alone thousands and thousands of people. So I mean, people are going to have their own views, and they're going to like, we're all going to kind of disagree a little bit on how things happen. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Like, I mean, I get it. If you took it that way, I mean, I think it's silly, but it's but I mean, everybody's got their viewpoints.
It's not silly, bro. It's straight up stupid. You took it that way, you're stupid. Stop following my show. That's fine. You're just stupid, bro. I'm not gonna lie, man. Like this whole thing that he went to Harvard, he should know better than be smart enough to make a better statement that people would take it down. He said we get back to 49er football. He can get a rat's ass of people in their feelings. He said what he said. The only way I take things negative is if he cleared out and say, we can only win with Jimmy, or Trey is trash, or Trey this, or Trey. If he says it directly that way, then hey, Juice is an ass, and I will not support him no more. But he never said that. All he said is, based on what Pete said, all he said was, we got back to 49er football. If you want to take it the wrong way, that's on you. You're the one with issues, not Juice. I don't see nothing negative. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful to no one, but man, get out of your feelings. I'll defend anyone, especially my viewers and my comments. If somebody says something directly about you, then I'll defend you. But if you took it a certain way, and I heard what they said and they didn't see nothing near that, you just took it that way, it's hard for me to defend you if you're just taking it upon your feelings. I'll try to comfort you, but I can't say that person was wrong. He didn't say anything to offend you. If somebody calls me, a fat ass, I'm going to take that personal. Somebody says, man, Albert, aren't you glad you love the world so wide, or something like that? I'm not going to take that personal. That was the wrong, whatever, but get to my point. My point is stop being soft. Anything you want to say, Pete, before we go? 'Cause I do got to go to the other,
I feel you.
I'm going to let the other person know that I'm not going to be able to do shows after this, because I enjoy doing, this is my priority tonight with you. So I'm going to have to schedule other days with them, because I want to be able to stop when we stop. But for tonight, I'm going to close it down. Pete, anything you want to say? And again, before you say anything, if anybody got offended for what I said, that was not my intentions. I didn't mean to offend you. But I am straightforward. I'm not Dino from the East Side, man. I tell you what I say, but I don't try to disrespect no one either. I just take it. If somebody calls me a name and they call to my face, that's one thing. If they say something nearby, but then it wasn't direct, I'm not going to worry about that. So with that said, anything going on your show, brother?
So yeah, I'm excited about this game coming up on Sunday. I'm excited about the game tomorrow. Like I'm so excited to have regular season football back. But yeah, I'll be doing my show. I'm going to do a pregame show before the game on Sunday, and then I'm going to do a post-game instant reaction show right after. But yeah, I'm gonna be taking the next couple of days off to get ready for that. And but yeah, like, make sure Niner Fanatic Podcast. We're on YouTube. I'm on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. And if you don't like looking at my face, you can always get the audio version. So make sure that you tell a friend to tell a friend, so we can be friends every day, every week. And but yeah, get excited. Bosa signed. Like, we about to get this season kicked off right. And all it needs to be said is go Niners.
Absolutely. And real quick to my brother here, again, I didn't mean to offend anybody. I speak out. If you're not a person in your feelings, then obviously this was my statement, did not apply to you. All I'm saying is, we do, a lot of times we get in our feelings and we let things bother us that shouldn't bother us. But if I offended you and you say I didn't, and I appreciate you, because I'm with you. I don't let anybody offend me, especially on the internet. So I'm with you on that. But if I did offend you, My apologies. Again, I'm not here to talk shit about no one, but I express how I feel, but I also try to do it in a way where I don't put nobody under the bus either. I'm not always gonna, even though I feel a certain way, I'm not gonna name your name and talk directly to one individual. I don't do that. That's just not my style. At least not over the internet. If I ever have any issues, and I'm not stating with you, I'm just saying in general, I like to do it in person, not over the internet. But you're good, brother. I love you. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being part of this chat. And again, if you thought I called you soft, that was not my intention. I don't think you're soft by your statements. So, Pete, soft, but not you, bro.
Soft and cuddly.
Yeah. I love you, Pete.
Yeah.
And make sure to follow him. Everything, all his channels, all his way to get contact him are in the description below. All you got to do is click on it and sign up with him. He brings great content. He's an awesome guy. We'll see you on his channel next Wednesday at 6:30. Be blessed. Have a wonderful rest of the week. And let's kick the shit out of the Steelers.
Oh,
Bosa is sign and deliver. Let's go. Good night, everyone.
Go Niners.
Peace out. Good night. Good night, Melissa and everyone else. God bless you. I'll be contacting you about the last man standing. All right, girl.
For sure.
Peace.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.